Hi guys, my name is Vipul. I'm the business head for InfoSec Train. Surprisingly, a very new thing for me, getting live on a podcast with the industry experts like Krish and Kapil as well. To start with, like over here, like we will be talking whatever you feel like. Though the topic is moreover, focused towards like what and how about cloud, wherein our security expert Krish would be helping us out in answering a couple of questions for us,
Mhm.
and we can make it as a fun activity. Completely depends on how you guys will react to it. So, Krish, over to you, buddy.
Hey guys, thank you for welcoming me for this. And I hope all of you people know me actually. So I just planned just a casual session so that you'll be able to ask your queries and we'll be able just a casual discussion. That's what we planned. And thank you for welcoming me, people. Let's start, no problem.
No problem.
Yes.
Absolutely great. So, yeah, to start with, well, moreover, I would request you all to fasten up your seat belts, moreover, because this is all about cloud. This is all about flying. Jokes apart, right? Getting back on the track. See, I've got a couple of scenarios and things going on in my mind wherein, I myself has been sitting into the industry from quite a long time, and I've been, giving the counseling session to a lot of people related to different cybersecurity and cloud security technologies, Krish, right? But yeah,
Okay.
still a layman, a complete layman, you can say, who doesn't know
Mhm.
anything about the technicalities of the cloud security industry. So
Okay.
to start with, I've got a couple of things to ask, wherein we can go for brief discussions.
Mhm.
Like what exactly would you say like is cloud computing and how it can be helping the organizations specifically in this COVID pandemic situation, which we've been facing from last 1 year now and doesn't seems to be
Actually, more
stopping
than
at
1 year.
all though.
Yeah,
Yep,
actually more
that's
than one
that's
year.
what I
Yeah.
said. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So, team, we have two questions here. What is cloud and how this cloud can help in this COVID pandemic situation? First of all, I'll just tell you about cloud. What is cloud? How it works. So, let's say, for example, as I always say in my sessions, anything which you access via internet is cloud. Like, for example, starting from your mobile phone applications to your websites, storage, and anything which you access via internet or public network is called as cloud. But definitely, like, you need to have some capacity. Like, for example, let's say if you want to work with your servers, if you want to work with your laptops, so you need to have some capacity, right? That capacity you are getting, like you have your laptop in your hand now, so you're able to work. Like the same way, if you want to host a website, you need to have something called as a web server. Like all these kind of capabilities, the cloud service provider, there is a organization which will be called as a cloud service provider. So the cloud service provider will be providing all this infrastructure like the CPU, memory, storage, and networking. All this infrastructure they will be providing to us, and that exactly is what we call it as cloud providers now. So they provide you some infra services like servers, storage, database, and everything is what you call as cloud. And talking about the cloud in this COVID pandemic, so first of all, the main thing which happened, actually very weird things are happening for the last one to 2 years now. So people are currently working from home and companies don't want people to come back to office again. Now everything is on home only, like I work. So basically what happens is when you go to the cloud platform, okay, the advantage we have is definitely the main challenge which companies has faced is when people started working from home from and all these things, there is no people for to manage, or there is no people in the companies to manage the infrastructure. Like for example, if I'm a company, I own a company where I have a lot of employees and there, so I have a huge infrastructure. So what happens is when all the people are starting working from home and all, so there is no proper way that we can actually go there and do the things manually. So what happens is when you move on to a cloud service provider, you are currently porting all your existing infrastructure to the cloud service provider. And because of that reason, what happens is whatever things happen, we are able to get the capacity from anywhere in the world if you are connected to internet. Like for example, now we are able to talk because there is a cloud application called as GoToMeeting. Now we are able to communicate. So all this because there is a cloud platform which provides the computing capacity for all these things. And definitely we have to adapt to this new COVID pandemic. And what happens is for the last 2 years, there is a very interesting change happened. Almost like we can say 30% and more companies started moving to cloud additionally than the previous years. just because of the reason that like they don't want to manage the infrastructure. Like let's say for example, even if it's a very small company or if it's a large company, they don't want to manage the infrastructure. That's why. That's the whole thing.
Right. Okay. So when you talk about infrastructure part, wherein you said
Mhm.
like, it has helped quite a lot, like
And
quite a
just
lot of
one more thing,
companies.
and
Yeah,
just one more
please.
thing I want to tell you. Like for example,
Sure.
see, we have an application called as Teams, right? Microsoft Teams. Like the same way, what
Right.
happens is we have multiple applications which can make you host your virtual office. Like you can make your cabin, you can make your discussions, you can have a meeting room, you can have your lunch breaks. Like it's like we can have a virtual office. So
Well,
all these
completely
things are
agree. My drawing room is my office these days, to be very true.
huh,
Yeah.
yeah. So these kind of applications in cloud helps us to create these kind of virtual offices, which makes the productivity much more, and we can collaborate more effectively without having an infrastructure in the on-premises. That's it.
Okay. So, as I was asking, like when you mentioned about the infrastructure part, see, a
Okay.
lot of companies have, suffered good number of losses as well, looking
Okay.
at the scenario wherein they had to bear the infrastructure cost wherein the
Hmm.
offices were not functional. Okay, that is
Okay.
something which has conveniently reduced the pollution as well, considering
Hmm.
the factor like wherein people are not commuting to the offices, they're
Okay.
not using the transports and all. So my question moreover is like, do we have any sort of environmental benefits by moving to the cloud platform? Does it help anywhere?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. See, the main challenge which we have is when I am, let's say for example, like now you said that okay, instead of using a car, if I basically use some kind of public transport system, it can save a lot of energy. Like it can basically
Right.
be beneficial for the environment. Like the same way, what happens is when we have a environment, when we have a infrastructure at the on premises, like for example, for every office, for infrastructure, for a company A, company B, company C, for every companies, if they are having a data center by on their premises, it's actually causing a lot of emissions, a lot of pollution, a lot of power consumption, and a lot of things like that. But at the same time, when we move to a shared space called as cloud platform, we are sharing a existing or we are sharing a current scenario, like we are sharing a complete infrastructure with multiple companies. So the advantage there is it reduces a lot of power consumption, it reduces a lot of greenhouse emissions, and definitely of course we don't have the burden of managing all these things, right? And it 100% benefit the environment because see, you know that I think you heard of this thing, team. Basically what happens is for the last 1 year the pollution has reduced very much and a lot of things healed. So because of this reason, when people move on to this cloud platform, they don't have to own existing or they don't have to own an on-premises data center, and because of that reason things can be more like eco-friendly, you can say.
Okay, absolutely great.
And
So,
definitely
okay,
it can
yeah.
be like
Mhm.
we are trying to shift to more renewable source of energy. Like for example, now some of the cloud data centers are completely planning to run from other energy sources like sunlights and all. Like they're trying to make it more and more eco-friendly, and definitely this thing can benefit at least some 50% more when you compare with the on-premises, definitely.
Okay, absolutely great. Well, good to know that we are helping somewhere in the industry, or you can say in the economy. Absolutely good to know. So, in terms of like cloud platform, wherein we have started this conversation, environment is getting benefited, right? How
Yes.
about a person like me? Like, how about a person who's planning to get into the cloud industry?
Hmm.
What exactly do you think, like how we can move, like how I can start my career if I'll relate myself, how I can start my career in the cloud computing industry?
Okay, got it. So let's say you're from a sales background. I'll give an example. So most people ask this query that how can a person start a career in cloud computing? The first thing I will always say is like, I don't want to say that, okay, you can immediately start with cloud and you can do something there. But what I suggest you is it's what based on what you want to do. See, cloud is there from almost like from 2006 onwards. The cloud is popular in the market. And now almost 80% companies are using some kind of cloud services. But if a person want to move to cloud, it is based on his interest. Like I can have a lot of job roles like cloud security, like cloud DevOps, cloud operations, cloud governance, cloud development. I have a lot of job roles like cloud pre-sales. So because of all these reasons, what happens is, okay, when a person like you want to move to cloud platform, what you're talking about is just to have an awareness of cloud platform, and you're selling courses, right? You're selling this cloud platform courses, right? So you must be able to understand what is the advantage this guy is providing. That's it.
Right.
except that, like, and for a person who is basically from a technical background, let's say for example, if I am a person who want to start with cloud computing, the first thing I have to do is I can basically, start with some networking fundamentals, some operating system fundamentals, and some basic development skills and all, and then we can move on to the cloud platform. And when we learn cloud platform, it is always better to start with the cloud platform, like cloud provider, like AWS or Azure or any cloud platform, and then we can move on to the advanced perspective of them.
Right. Got your point,
Yeah.
Krish.
Yeah.
Well, I could see a question popping up wherein it says like how to shift from non-cloud and infrastructure and audit background to cloud, and the challenge is lack of cloud experience. If you would like to have a quick
Yeah,
answer to that,
definitely.
please.
Definitely. So what happens is, right, when we say if I want to see that, definitely a lot of things are very similar when we have on the on-premise and the cloud platform. The main difference here is what happens is when we have a on-premise infrastructure, okay, when we have an on-prem infrastructure, we are having more access to the environment. Like for example, now I'm having my own data center in my premises. I can do my auditing, I can do everything in a more clear perspective. But at the same time, when I move on to the cloud platform, this particular thing can change. Like I have to rely on the cloud service provider much more. So we have to understand what all things are our responsibility and what all things are the cloud provider's responsibility. Then only we will be able to have a proper governance in cloud.
Right.
Yeah.
Got your
Yeah.
point, Krish.
Mhm.
Okay. So,
And one more
like,
thing, to continue this question. So the challenge is lack of cloud experience. See, when I say lack of cloud experience, it's all about like when we say a developer or any person. Like, see, I'm a person who is working in the on-premises. If I want to move to cloud, it's pretty much simple. The only thing is in on-premises, whatever things you're getting in the cloud platform, you're getting in the form of services. What you
right.
have to only do is to understand those services and how the responsibility is shared between the cloud service provider. For example, let's say if I host a server in the on-premises, it's completely my responsibility. At the same time, if I go to the cloud platform, the responsibility, a lot of things will shift to the cloud service provider and some responsibility will remain with me. So we have to have a clear understanding of that. That is how we can have a proper governance in the cloud platform.
Okay. Well, theoretical concepts, completely agree. How about sharing a real-time experience in terms of how you got into the cloud industry? Like
See,
if you can share your real experience, because I know you have been working towards the networking part.
yeah, a lot of
But yeah,
time. Yeah.
moving to the cloud scenario, how the experience has been for you.
Okay. So personally in my XC, yeah, team, yeah, let's see, I'm just coming to that actually. That's the main thing which I won't tell you. So team, I'll tell you my background. Okay. So I started my career from 2005 onwards and I worked with a lot of companies. I was completely a networking guy and Linux guy for a long time. And from 2010 onwards only I shifted to cloud. Okay. But that experience I had helped me very much when I moved to cloud platform. First of all, if a person want to move to cloud platform, the first thing is he must have a bit networking knowledge. It's mandatory. So Krish, what about the developer? Even if it's a developer or any person who want to move to cloud, networking knowledge basics is mandatory. First of all, I just mean basics. I don't want, like, I'm not saying that you must be a master in that, but still the basics is enough. Plus you must have at least one operating system skills. Like you must be able to understand or manage operating system like Windows servers or Linux servers, those kind of server class operating systems. If you have some awareness, so these backgrounds can help you very much. Plus, if you have some scripting knowledge, and that's not mandatory, definitely. So those kind of things can help you definitely start a career in this cloud computing. And specifically, if you want to start with cloud security, definitely security background is required. For that, you can start with some basic security trainings and go step by step on this. But I don't recommend anyone going for cloud security directly. You can first of all finish your security fundamentals or security courses, then you can go for the cloud computing security.
So moreover, you're talking about the basics of networking and security before moving towards a specific cloud platform, right?
Actually that's mandatory because even if, let's say, most people say that we have more requirements, I do agree we have a lot of things more. But what I'm trying to tell you is when we have this networking background, when we have this server kind of background, we can do much more things. Like I'm a developer, I'm a tester, I'm an operations person, I'm a DB person. So whatever it is, if I have a background like this, if I have a basic knowledge on these kind of things and all, we will be able to understand things in a more effective way, or we can drive the things more effective. And that is why, to be honest, I was able to work in cloud platform very easily. And just one
Okay.
more
Well.
point, just
Mhm.
one more point to add up with this, that usually what happens is when we go to the cloud platform, when I started my career in cloud platform in 2010, there was only one job role in the market which was very much familiar. First of all, it's we call it as cloud architect. When I wanted to get some job in cloud, so I applied to some companies, and the only job role I found was cloud architect, because everybody want to become a cloud architect. But after that, the cloud is more and more advanced. A lot of things added up, and the cloud console entirely changed. And now what happens is we have more than 100 specializations in cloud. In cloud itself, we can have more than 100 specialties. So people want to move to cloud. They can first of all understand cloud platform, and they can go with the step-by-step ones. Actually, that's it. Yeah, we
Okay.
got one more
Well,
question.
we
What
actually
advice?
got couple of questions over here.
Yeah, exactly.
I could see couple of questions related to the part wherein you have been putting forward your points.
Mhm.
It says, what would you recommend for someone without technical or IT experience? And
Mhm.
also, is cloud security linked to cyber security?
Okay, I'll answer the second question first. So the cloud security is definitely linked to cloud. So cloud security is definitely linked to cyber security. The reason is because if you are aware of the security concepts, like I'll give an example, team. Let's say, for example, I want to know how to ensure security for my on-premises existing infrastructure. The same thing I can basically do for a cloud platform. Like I can basically go for a cloud platform. I have to implement security in that perspective. It's definitely required. So if you have a cybersecurity experience, the for cloud security, it can help a lot, first of all. Then if you're from a non-technical background or non-IT background, you have to start with, so like if you're looking for a pre-sales job or sales kind of job, definitely it's perfectly fine. You can start with that, definitely. With minimal things you can start and you can be better in that. But if you're looking for a technical role, and if you're currently from a non-technical background, you have to start with the same things I told you, like the basic OS skills, the networking skills, some basic scripting skills. To these kind of things, you can go step by step. Like I will tell you my journey. So I started my journey with this CCNA certification, the Cisco Certified Network Associate. Then I started go to my Red Hat certification, Windows certification. So those track helped me a lot. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So you have to go step by step and then only go to cloud. And even if you don't have all these things, you can do the courses. But when you work in the industry, these experience can help you a lot. That's it, to troubleshoot and all. That's it.
Okay, absolutely great. Right. Coming over to the next point, wherein it's all about cloud. Every time, everywhere, we are talking about cloud. Organizations are in fact talking about cloud. Uh,
Mhm.
how is the sustainable growth? How can we relate the sustainable growth in terms of cloud? Like, to be very precise, will there be a future in cloud industry in coming, say, like 5, 10 years?
Yeah, got your question. So actually, that's a very interesting question, because most people have the doubt that, even I also say that when we go to a technology, let's say now you're learning a technology, it can be anything like virtualization, cloud computing, Python, Java, whatever it is. When you're learning some technology, there is a lifespan. Like for example, okay, this is having some demand for the next 10 years, 5 years, and all. I'll give an example, team. So most when people come to me for a cloud training, the same thing that people also ask, like how long with this we can basically have this cloud in the picture. But see, cloud is there in the market in a booming state from 2010 onwards. And till now, I have seen that it's having a tremendous growth. To make it more simple to your team, when I started my cloud journey, it was 20 services in AWS. And now it's 175 services they have. That much changes happened. That is one thing. The second thing is, definitely for the next 10 years, minimum 10 years, cloud will be there. But what is the difference? When we go for the next 10 years, cloud will be there, but it can take a lot of forms. It can include a lot more things that we can't even expect. I'll give an example.
Mhm.
So cloud was designed for hosting servers and storage only for a long time. And now the cloud is the primary platform for machine learning, artificial intelligence, like analytics skills, and all these things. So like the same way, cloud is improving a lot. Like until you update your skills, that's a key point, team. Until you update your skills, like till the point you're able to update your skills to the cloud computing technology changes, you will be able to stay in this field. That's a whole thing completely.
Okay, well, that's fine. But still, I could see there are a lot of organizations who still doesn't really want cloud platform. Looking at the scenario, as you mentioned, cloud is the future.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the previous question you answered for me.
Okay.
But there are still those organizations, who are not ready to switch to the cloud environment?
See, the reason is because there are multiple reasons I can say for that. First of all, maybe because of that they were not aware of that thing. Like for example, they were not aware of the benefits. See, I'll give an example, team. I don't want to go for the controversial topic, but I'm just telling you this thing, like about the vaccine. When you search in Google about the vaccine for COVID, see, when you can search for the COVID vaccine. Some people say that okay, this is something which is very important to take and everything is better, and government is also supporting that. But now what happens is some people are basically saying that okay, it is something which can cause you a lot of you know like a lot of problems and all. But at the same time, like the same way in cloud also, people are concerned. Like people have a concern about the security. People have the concern about the sharing the infra with the cloud service provider. People have the concern about adopting to the new technology. So that can be one reason. Okay, people are not aware of the benefits of the cloud or how this cloud is crafted. Second thing is it may not be able to adapt to that business model. So, Chris, what
Hmm.
are the like what are the kind of business which can benefit? There is nothing like that. It's starting from the medical industry to the IT industry to production factories. So anywhere you can have cloud. But the only thing is you must be able to if the cloud platform is able to support your business directly, you can go for that. So first of all, they the thing which they don't know, like they're not aware of cloud. That's the one thing. The second thing is maybe their business model is not having an adaptability to cloud. Or finally, the most important thing, some like I have worked in a project where it is basically about national nation security. So what happened was those people who don't want to move to cloud because they were concerned about the security of that. Security can be a challenge, unawareness of the cloud platform, and maybe like this it may not be suitable for the business model. So because of multiple reasons like this, companies don't want to move to cloud. But yes, for the last 5 years, 80% companies worldwide is now in cloud, at least in some form of cloud services. That's it.
Okay, well, to mention like in your career growth itself, you mentioned about AWS being the, initial
Market
one
leader.
which had like 20 services, and now we are sitting at 175, something you mentioned.
Yeah. Yes.
So, is it still the trend? Like, which are the most trending, cloud computing platforms in the industry these days? Is it still
Uh,
AWS which is leading? Because I know a lot about these ones. Like, there are a lot of them in the market. Azure is there with from
yes.
Microsoft. Then we have got Google. So which
Yes.
one is the most trending? Yeah.
See, definitely from the day one it is introduced, this AWS cloud platform is the most trending one in the market. And now in the last quarter of 2020, they are having 30% market share, more than any other cloud provider in the world. So basically, they are the top leaders. But definitely, see, it doesn't mean that other cloud providers are not good. I'm just saying that when you go for AWS or Azure, any platform, okay, they are good in
Mhm.
certain services. So how do we choose a cloud platform? There are the key points we have to understand. If a cloud service is able to meet my business requirement properly, I can go for that. And now trending in the market, this is the things which is trending now. There is a word called as multi-cloud architecture. Now in the organization, this world is very trending. Multi-cloud architecture. That means that see now you are having two mobile phones, so you are having two mobile numbers, right? Why? Because you want to have a connectivity option for one thing. You want to have internet speed, so you have multiple mobile numbers. Like the same way, for a company, if the company is able to get more benefit for a particular service from one cloud provider, for that service only they will go for the cloud service, that cloud provider A. For example, let's say if I can tell you, like okay, one of my customers previously, what I done is, okay, they were good, the AWS was able to provide me very good services for their storage requirements. At the same time, for their machine learning services, I have to go to different cloud platform. So this combination is something which the companies want to prefer. This cocktail is what they prefer now.
Okay. So moreover, you are saying like each and every cloud platform is trending, but AWS stands at the top with 30% market share.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So could you please give us a more brief about AWS Cloud Platform? Like, what is it all about? How is it different, maybe from, the other cloud platforms?
Actually, I'm very much happy to do that because that I started with this particular
Because you're always
AWS
happy
platform.
about AWS. Yeah, that's in
Yeah,
your blood, it
exactly.
seems like.
Yeah, the reason is because right from 2010 onwards, I'm working in AWS. I'm working for various companies for AWS assignments and AWS security consulting and all. So basically, what happens is AWS is the market leader. The reason is because they have started this cloud computing journey. See, people know the word called as cloud computing. From 2010 onwards, 2006 onwards, AWS is serving the customers in the form of public cloud services. And all the other cloud service providers came after that only. So because of that reason, AWS is still in demand for a lot of companies. But yes, definitely other providers are there also. But AWS is having certain services which we can't even compare with other cloud providers. For example, AWS, there is a service called as AWS S3. The same service is available for other cloud service providers also, but they are not able to provide this much support, this much feasibility like AWS S3. Like so, these key services are still holding them in the market as a key leaders.
Okay. Well, talking about AWS only since you started about it, like there is a question which I could see from one of our audience, like what are the top branded multi-cloud certificates? How is it valued in the market?
Definitely, team. We have a lot of multi-cloud certifications like Cloud Plus, CompTIA Cloud Plus, and then we have a we have a aviatric certification, a lot of things like that. But I don't prefer you go for that. I don't prefer you basically, you go for an aviatric certification or a Cloud Plus or a CCSP or CCSK. It's not like that. You have to go. You can't basically directly go to any certification and plan your career. If you want to plan your career for cloud security or cloud computing, first of all, learn a cloud platform. It can be anything. It's not AWS. It's you can learn any platform, whether it's AWS or Azure or Google. Just learn one cloud platform in detail. Let's say, for example, because of the reason I learned AWS, I was able to work very freely in Azure. I was able to work very effectively in Google just because I was aware of AWS. So learn one cloud platform first of all initially in depth. Then if you, based on what you want to do, based on what you want to specialize, you can go for further certifications. Like for example, let's say now I have done my Azure certification example. If I finish my Azure certification, okay, next I want to go for cloud governance, I can go for CCSP. If I want to go for cloud basic principles and security and all, I can go for cloud plus architecting and all. So it's all about what you want to plan. I don't prefer you go for a multi-cloud certification initially without just blindly going for that. Just choose a cloud provider first, learn that in depth, go for the next platform, step by step. That's it.
Great. I hope you got
And
your answer.
yeah, and just one
Okay.
more thing I
Another.
want to add with
Uh-huh.
this. Actually, sorry for that. I want to add one more thing with this. So basically,
Sure, sure.
most people have this query. So Chris, we study this course. Let's say I am teaching you now in March 2021. So now you're learning this course, and after 6 months, there is a lot of updates coming in cloud. See, unless otherwise you are able to keep the track with the updates happening, you will not be able to get it work in the cloud platform effectively. See now also like I am currently I am currently online, and before and after the session I will become completely concerned about my knowledge. So we have to keep on updating. Then only we will be able to work effectively on the cloud platform. Definitely.
But how can one do that? How can one do that when it comes to, keeping yourself updated when it comes to whatever is happening in the, cloud industry, I would rather say.
Yeah, definitely. See, that's a that question is not at all valid now. The reason is because people are connected now. People have different sources like videos, blog posts, like updates. Like from the provider itself, you'll get newsletters. You can get YouTube videos.
Like
You
our
can get
podcast, I believe.
yeah, yeah, now we have a podcast. Like the same way you have webinars, you have like YouTube
Hmm.
videos, you have this update from the cloud providers. You can sign up for the newsletters from cloud service providers. You can watch the space, like you can keep on watching the AWS, keep on watching Azure. Just keep on watching them, and you will be able to see. Today they introduced a new feature like AWS console access, AWS EC to serial console access. Now they introduced, and that feature can bring a lot of changes to the cloud model now. See, I'll tell you an example for that. The main challenge most people tell us is, so Chris, when we have a cloud virtual machine or instance in cloud, we are not able to connect to it or we are not able to troubleshoot it like the on-premises hardware. But now with this new feature today morning, which they introduced today morning, we are able to do that. See, this changes is what we have to update. Okay, that's it.
Okay, absolutely great. Thank you so much for the valuable information over here.
Mhm.
I've also heard another point, Krish, in terms of the infrastructure part of the
Okay.
cloud.
Mhm.
Like it plays a very vital role, but what's so special about it? Like, how does it impact the industry, or how does it, helps the industry? I would rather ask.
You're talking about cloud, right?
Yep, I'm talking about infrastructure related to the cloud service providers.
See, first of all, as we discussed the benefits for the environment. Like a lot of things
Mhm.
are that. See, first of all, to be honest, let's say for example, I currently own a car, but what happens is I don't I let's say for example, the main challenge I'm facing is okay, I have to always take my car, I have to drive all the way, I have to go for a parking. So it's a lot of things like that, right? So instead of that, if I can get a Uber, it can be better. Like the same way, when companies plan their own infrastructure, when companies deploy everything in the on premises in their infrastructure, they are not able to concentrate, they are not able to focus on their business. Once they move to a cloud service provider, once they move to AWS or Azure or any cloud service provider like that, they can perform more better, they can do things more in a more efficient way. Like for example, let's say I run a hospital example. If I run a hospital, I can focus on my hospital growth and all, right? Why do I have to go behind the data centers? I can offload that things to the cloud service provider. I can just use it. I can just manage it. Except that everything else is taken by the cloud service provider. So for companies, it can reduce a lot of cost, a lot of initial expense they can reduce. We call as capital expense. We can reduce the capital expense. We don't have a like we can reduce the total cost of ownership. We don't have the headache of maintenance. A lot of things will be taken care by the cloud service provider. See, definitely.
Okay, but that doesn't increase the cost again, like to set up a cloud platform.
It's see, setting up a cloud platform is nearly zero. The cost for setting up a cloud platform is nearly zero. Yeah, I got a question here now also. See, definitely for the first 1 year, AWS is offering a free tier. When you go for Azure also, they are offering a free tier. So with this free tier, you're able to do a lot of things. You can test things in the cloud platform, and only if you use some service, you have to pay for it. In the cloud, there is no cost to get started. Like for example, let's say I want to start a AWS account now. I can start it very freely. There is no point like I have to pay some money for that. Cool, that's it.
Right. So could you please also give us a quick brief about the hierarchy of the certification when it comes to AWS platform?
So in AWS, what happens is we have basically we have four level certifications, starting from the AWS fundamentals. We call as practitioner certificate. There is a certification called as AWS Cloud Practitioner. That is for people who want to have a awareness of cloud platform. Let's say you're working in pre-sales or you're working sales. For a salesperson, okay, Krish, I want to know cloud for my sales operation, my sales job. So that's perfect. You can go for the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner. At the same time, then we have something called as associate level certifications. If a person want to learn cloud computing or if a person want to learn AWS, the first thing he has to learn is the AWS associate level certification. We have three certifications in it. He can go for anyone. Like it can be AWS certified solutions architect associate or system operations or anything. And then we have a professional certification. I will say that professional is the most advanced level of certification we are having. The reason is because when we go for a professional certification, like especially this particular AWS professional certification, it can give you a very in-depth understanding of the cloud architecting. And definitely, okay, I'm working in cloud security. So basically, for people like me, there is a specialty level certification also. That means I can specialize on certain skills like machine learning. I can specialize on networking in cloud. I can specialize on security in cloud. So we have four levels. We have a foundation, we have a associate, we have a professional, we have a specialty. And any person can go to any certification directly. Okay, that's it. But I don't recommend, to be honest, I don't recommend the AWS certified cloud practitioner if you want to start as a architect or a security person in cloud. It's just for people who want to have a awareness. That's it.
Okay, absolutely great. So basically, like it's always advisable to follow the hierarchy rather than, jumping to the advanced level certifications even after
Yes.
having the opportunity, right?
Yes,
I got
exactly.
your point. So maybe how about a couple of examples, for some sort of businesses who have been taking the benefits or like getting benefited through through the AWS cloud platform or the other ones.
I will say a lot. I can give you some examples like we have a LinkedIn, we have a Netflix, we have Kellogg's. See, Netflix, you're able to watch movies, right? You're able to watch movies worldwide. Millions of people are able to watch the movies just because that platform is hosted on AWS. They're able to support any amount of workloads. Like the same way, we have a LinkedIn. It's a world's best professional networking site. LinkedIn is using AWS, Kellogg is using AWS, Nest. So a lot of companies worldwide like this are using AWS, and because of that reason, they are able to offload all the things to the cloud provider, and they can focus on their business. That's it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Netflix is something which I heard as a layman, the very first thing. That's moreover the
Yeah.
more focused one, which I could understand on LinkedIn. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely great.
Yeah.
Right.
We got one
So,
question. Like, is there any
right.
certification
Enough
for?
of, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a certificate. We have a question here. Is there any certification for a certified cloud trainer? Yeah, definitely yes. Let's say, for example, if you want to take Microsoft courses, you can become Microsoft certified trainer. So for becoming Microsoft certified trainer, you can basically start with the like get some Microsoft certifications and then apply for that. You must be a part of a Microsoft organization or a supported company, and then you can get this Microsoft certified trainer profile. Also, you can become an AWS certified trainer, but becoming an AWS certified trainer is a very hectic thing. Definitely it's possible, it's very simple, it's possible.
How do you say it's possible when it took you years to actually get into the uh, different environments of cloud?
Okay. See, when you see becoming a trainer is a different thing. It's like, you have to learn a lot of things. Like you have to be able to answer queries and all, right? So what happens is, there also we have a lot of certifications, and definitely, yeah, yes. Yeah, we have one more question here. Do we have a vendor neutral certification? Yeah, we have a lot of vendor neutral certificate in the market. Like for example, we have a Cloud Plus. Cloud Plus is a very good vendor neutral certification if you want to start. Okay, that's the first thing. Cloud Plus is a very good certification which you can start as a vendor neutral one. Then you can go for things like the CCSK, CCSP kind of things and all.
Right. So I believe I've had many of the questions and doubts cleared by one
Okay.
of the very senior experts in the industry. I would like to give the opportunity to the participants in this podcast. If they have any specific questions, they can unmute themselves, or they can ping it in the chat. We would be happy to answer those.
Yeah, yes, Sunil. Yeah, what advice would you give to a person with 15 years experience, networking experience, and definitely see your Cisco experience and Cisco certification is very interesting. But definitely see, it's all based on if you want to go for cloud security, I can definitely give you the path. But it's completely based on what you worked or how the things you worked, what all things you know in the previous way. So see, for if you want to have a custom recommendation team, you can always ping me, no problem. This is my number. You can always ping me if you want to have a custom recommendation for your training. Like I can just show you just ping my number here. Feel free to ping us.
Hello,
Yeah,
can
tell
I?
me. Yeah, definitely.
Hiya. Okay,
Hi.
you've said a lot of things, but
Yes.
I still can't make my mind as to what I want to do. All I know
Okay.
at this point is
Mhm.
I'm 48 years old. I'm
Okay.
thinking of a career change. I've previously worked in sales, and
Okay.
now I realize that I want to do something that can sustain me till I retire. People
Perfect.
have
Okay.
recommended cybersecurity.
Mhm.
People have recommended software testing. People have
Okay.
recommended cloud computing. I
Okay.
honestly don't know where to start from. So somebody
Okay.
like me who
Mhm.
wants to find a new career, a career change,
Mhm.
what would you say to me? Because that's why I am here.
Thank you for the question. That's a very interesting question which I want to answer, teams. Actually, see, I'm just see a person. Let's say he is any person who is more than four. Let's say you're 45 years plus, or it's perfectly fine. See, first of all, that myth is not there in the market now. That means that age is not a bar for anything. Let's say, for example, I heard a story of a girl who was working as an engineer for 10 years, and she became a doctor after that just because she had some medical problems. She just want to become a doctor after that. 10 years. See, it's like it. Even if it's your background is completely different, you can always start, but definitely start from the basics. The main mistake most people are making, let's say for example, you ask me software testing, you talk about security. So any platform you can go, either if you can go for cloud security or cloud computing, or you can go for cyber security, you can go for software testing. But when you go to any of these things, the first thing is go from the very basics. You will be able to go, definitely, I'm sure that team, you will be able to go. So if you go to cloud security, I'll tell you what, in the cloud security track, if you go to cloud security, what happens is, start with the cloud basics. Okay, anyway, get the fundamental understanding of things I told you now, like Linux or Windows networking fundamentals. Get the foundation understanding, plus start the cloud platform. Be a master in cloud architecting. Okay, do learn all lot of things and be a master in cloud architecting. And once you become a cloud architecting master, you will be able to get a lot of projects and assignments in cloud, and you can work until you say stop. You can basically work. See, now also if I want to work as a cloud architect, I have a lot of assignments coming. It's definitely based on how much you understand. So if you are able to understand this cloud in a very detailed way, 100% sure that you will be able to work until you can say, okay, I'm done with this. That's till that time you can work, no problem.
I hope that
So
has
do you have
that
anything
your
in
question.
place?
Okay.
And so
Sorry.
in terms of what you're offering now,
Mhm.
whatever course you program you're going to do, are you going to start from the basics? So at least, so for those of
Yes,
us who don't have any knowledge, we can then
yes,
join and then learn from there, and then from there develop to whatever state we need to do. Is that what your plan is for us?
yes, definitely. The
Okay.
reason is because, right, the people are coming to us from different backgrounds like cybersecurity or a lot of things like that. So because of that reason, in infosecurity courses, we are actually going in a very like from the very basics, like very fundamentals to go step by step. So you'll be able to think or you'll be able to work in a more effective way on that, definitely.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Yep. So next
Right.
is
So I could see another one. Our
our
career
career.
has been for most whatever came on as opportunity we move forward. What are the prospects in cloud for technical program manager with 15ish techno-functional experience? Well, that's quite English. Okay.
No, no, yeah,
Will
that's what we
moving,
think. Mhm.
yeah, will moving towards technical certificates be a one step back in career?
Yeah,
Krish, I mean, over
no,
to you
see,
again. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. See, team. When we say when I usually just take tech calls and all, right, most people say okay, they want to go for a technical job role and then we'll go for a management job role. That's what we say. But definitely, right, okay, after all these years, you want to move to technical thing. That won't be a one step back in that. See, it's all about what you're working. Let's say, for example, I want to work in AWS security specialization. See, now it's almost 16 plus 17 years now, but still I'm able to work in cloud, especially in AWS architecting. I'm a person who is trying to have a cloud governance skills. I'm currently working that for a long time, but still I'm able to work in AWS also. It won't take you backward, but it's based on what you're doing. See, I can suggest you more better if you can give me more information about it. Like, for example, what all things you're currently doing and all. Like, it's not about the job role name I'm talking about, the things you're doing. That's it. That we can talk, no problem. Cool.
So I hope that has, like Krish has answered your concern, Virat. Do we have any more questions from
Will you be
anyone
sharing?
related to?
Will you
Yeah,
be sharing the
sure.
syllabus, the initial course structure syllabus with us, and how
Yeah,
long would the
yeah, you
course
can.
take?
Yeah, you can just ping us and we will be able to share all these things. Okay. Vipul,
Okay,
can you
well,
please
I've
share the
just now pinged my details in the chat portal. You can drop me an email or connect me on WhatsApp or over a call, wherein I'll be able to help you out with the contents and detailed parts of the different courses which you might be looking at. So that's completely fine.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got one more
I'm
question
looking
here.
for a CCA, CCSP or CCSK certification. Again,
Okay.
to do this CCSP or CCSK, I should do some basic certification, AWS
Yes.
Azure.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
because if you don't have a cloud platform knowledge, if you go for CCSP, it's completely fine. But what happens is if you want to implement that, see why we are studying CCSP. We are studying the CCSP or CCSK to drive a complete cloud migration or drive a complete cloud security governance perspective. So because of that reason, if you don't know a cloud platform, we can't be able to do it in a productive manner, right? That's why I'm always saying that it's better to have a cloud experience, like or at least an awareness in a cloud platform if you want to work in that particular thing. And one
Right.
more thing I want,
Yeah.
one more thing,
Sorry.
we have one
Sorry.
more
Go
question
ahead.
here. No, no, no problem. So we have, yeah, could you elaborate on changing roles of IT auditors? See, definitely, see, whether if your current role is an auditor or a developer or anything like that, it's very easy for you to move on to cloud platform. It won't be a big challenge for you. The only thing you have to keep in mind is, like, first of all, understand what all things you currently know, which cloud or which cloud stream you want to go. Let's say, for example, Urvashi, you are working as a cloud normal auditor, security auditor. You want to move on to cloud auditing. So just select the track, like, okay, I want to become a cloud auditor. This is what I have to do. Like we can have a go step-by-step process on that. Definitely it's possible. But I can discuss much more better if I will be able to know what all things you're currently aware of. That's it.
Thank you, Krish. Thanks for that. Right, guys, any more questions which you would like to ask or clarify? I believe, Krish, we have been pretty interesting that our audience are almost silent, but no, it's good. It's good. Like we have had this sort of a conversation.
Mhm.
We would be happy to go ahead and, serve you guys well with other technologies as well, moreover, because this was more focused towards cloud, wherein we had our cloud security expert, Krish, taking the lead. Anything from your end, Krish? I believe I'm all sorted.
Yeah, me too actually. I'm so happy with the session. And team, if you have any concerns or queries, feel free to ping us. It's you will be able to get all your answers. But see, the main thing I know that team, a lot of people are asking about the career things and all, like what do I have to do? What to become a cloud auditor? What to become a cloud security expert? So team, it's completely based on the profile. That's the main thing I want to tell you. So I can give you a lot of things in a like generic way, but still what I recommend is, if you want to have a good career option, please make sure you have a one-to-one consulting so that I can suggest you better. Like for example, let's say if I say generically a lot of things to you, it won't help you much. So it's always better to make sure that if I can talk to you personally, we will be able to discuss more things in a, like we will be able to, yeah, definitely I can share, no problem. So I'll be able to talk to you more efficiently. I can discuss more things in a more clear way, right? That's it. Even for me also, see, it's even for me also, my current job role, the way I am doing things is different. It can be different for you also. So make sure, let's have a call and we will be able to discuss it. Okay, that's it. Cool.
Absolutely great. So I
Okay.
believe we are good to go, guys. Any more questions? Anything? I believe we are all sorted. Virat, you can get in touch with me or Krish, and we can, we'll be able to help you out with your concerns and doubts. That's something which we will be able to discuss offline as well. Uh,
Perfect.
I believe we are all good to wrap up, Krish.
Perfect.
I believe
Sure.
it's already time for dinner for the
Yeah,
guys who
there
are
was.
sitting in, India, yeah, or
Yeah.
lunchtime for the others. Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely great. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, Krish, and discussing and sorting out my concerns. I'll be, continuously backing you up, and I'll be there to support in terms of like getting anything and everything right related to the cloud part.
Thank you, team. Thank you, Vipul.
Right. Thank you all. Thank you so much for your time and joining with us. We will come back with another session shortly and we'll keep you posted on the same. Thanks.
Thank you, team. Thank you so much. Bye.